Chosen ones. A peculiar form of justice is woven into the very essence of existence. Each time obstacles are placed before you, the earth holds on to that memory. And in the end, they suffer as they tread the path they sought to tarnish for you. That is not retribution. That is the harmony of the universe. That is the decree. All are bound by fate. Beloved soul, your path was never intended to be confined by their constraints. While they attempted to manipulate the strings, existence revealed the truth of their folly. The individuals who chuckled as they sowed the seeds of discord, they are now ensnared by the very tendrils they nurtured with jealousy. It resonates with a lyrical beauty. It is exact, and this is merely the dawn of what is to come. They sought to shatter your spirit. Yet behold the unexpected turn. They merely honed your essence. Every obstacle they crafted transformed into a stepping stone on your path to magnificence. Irony never falters. Your essence lingers in their thoughts. They observe your ascent, not with tranquility, but with trepidation. For within, they understand that your quietude holds great strength. Your evolution is a sacred promise. And your essence, it transcends mere spatial transitions. It transforms fates. Allow this to resonate within you. When the cosmos harmonizes with the anointed, no power, no whispers, no deceit, no insincere grin can impede their path. Your purpose transcends the need for approval. Your destiny is to achieve greatness. Before we unveil the hidden truths, before the reality emerges from the remnants of all that has been concealed, take a moment to reflect. Embrace the moment and affirm your presence in this transformative journey. Join us. This transcends the realm of mere video. It is a gateway. Leave the number 99 in the comments to indicate your readiness. Prepared to reveal the hidden truths they sought to keep from your sight. As you connect, the essence transforms, the true ones. They remain steadfast until the very conclusion. For within the very essence of your being, an undeniable truth resides. This has always been centered around your essence. Let us embark on this journey. First and foremost, cease the suppression of your brilliance. You were destined to stand out. There are moments in life that resonate with a sense of purpose, as if they are orchestrated by a higher power. Ephemeral feelings that flash with the intensity of a storm. Unusual visions that etch themselves into the soul. Echoes of youth that remain eternal. To the untrained eye, these may seem inconsequential. Yet not for you, and not to the cosmos. Indeed, existence often reveals profound truths nestled within the shadows. Emblems intricately interlaced within your narrative long before you grasped their meanings. What appeared to be serene instances of tranquility were, in truth, profound messages. What seemed like solitude was a profound realignment. The gentle nudges you experienced were not mere coincidences. They were initial messages from a profound essence, guiding you toward a journey that only a select few can truly perceive. You have always been attuned to the higher frequencies. While many sought the clamor of the world to find their essence, you embraced the stillness and grasped its profound meaning. In your youth, you might have taken on the role of the silent witness, the soul who perceived the unspoken, experienced emotions profoundly, and sought the truths that remained hidden from the world. What is my purpose in this existence? Why do I sense that there is something greater beyond this existence? Those were not mere coincidences of the mind. They were whispers of a profound reality that had been woven into your essence long before this realm dictated your identity. The reality is, the selected ones do not conform, for their essence was never meant to be ordinary. Your perspective has always been unique. Where others perceived disorder, you discerned harmony. Where they perceived mere chance, you discerned purpose. And that is what stirred their very souls. That is what rendered you formidable. Even your most ancient recollections carry whispers of truth. What is it about specific instances that shine brightly in our memory, while entire years seem to dissolve into obscurity? What is it about a single phrase spoken long ago that continues to resonate within you? Because those words, that moment, that feeling transcended mere experience. It was a sacred message, an invitation to your enlightenment. Let us speak truthfully. There has always been a sense within you, an inexplicable feeling that something was not quite right. And the world sought to label that as a disorder, attempted to convey that you were overly sensitive, excessively distant, intensely passionate, and simply too much to handle. But now you are beginning to realize that you were never too much. You were simply too extraordinary for the mundane realms. This transcends mere mythology. This is harmony with the celestial order. When the cosmos chooses an individual for an elevated journey, it whispers softly rather than issuing grand commands. It softly murmurs in the realm of dreams. It awakens the inner knowing. It guides you through experiences that seem perplexing at first, only to reveal their meaning in time. If you have ever experienced the weight of ancient wisdom in a tumultuous existence, if you have found yourself aware of nuances that elude others, if you have been on a quest for the language to articulate the unseen presence that has steered your journey, this is your moment of clarity. You are whole and complete. You are exactly where you need to be. You are entering a new realm of consciousness. What they sought to conceal from you is precisely what will distinguish you from them for all eternity. Second in line, do not be deceived by their falsehoods. They sought to obliterate your essence for a purpose. They did not merely overlook your essence. They set their sights upon it. From the very outset, there were murmurs, diversions, and deceptions, crafted to lead you away from your true essence. This was not a mere coincidence. It was a divine plan, a deliberate and measured orchestration to conceal your genuine spirit before it has the chance to ascend. They perceived what escaped your notice, a force awakening within you, and instead of embracing its essence, they trembled before it. What actions did they take? Your true essence has been obscured, caused you to reflect on your value. Rejoiced in the visions of your slumber, your power has been contorted into a weakness. They sought to obscure your true essence from your memory. For if you were to unveil the essence, the facade they don would be consumed by the light of your revelation. You were destined for greatness, yet they nurtured a mindset of limitation. They shattered reflections merely to obscure the truth that has always resided within you. You were not merely concealed, you were dismantled, fragment by fragment. Yet, this is the aspect that eluded their understanding. Truth endures, patiently awaiting its moment. And now, the memories begin to resurface. The veil of mist is beginning to part. The falsehoods that obscured your true essence are beginning to shatter. Every false title they bestowed upon you is shedding away. They sought to diminish your essence to mere whispers of existence. Yet you embody the fire. Those selected do not seek affirmation. They seek enlightenment. And once you perceive the truth beyond the veil, you shall never be ensnared by their deceptions again. Contemplate this question within yourself. What untruths about your essence have you been embracing? Are you prepared to dismantle them? For that which they sought to conceal is on the verge of awakening, third in line. Heed the omens you once overlooked. Your early years were filled with purpose. Beloved, they sought to persuade you that it was merely a figment of your imagination. What you perceived, what stirred within you, what you understood in your youth was merely a product of your imagination. Yet within your soul, an undeniable truth lingered, whispering of greater mysteries beyond the veil. Your early years were filled with purpose. It was inscribed with celestial significance. You were not merely a reserved child. You were keenly aware, perceiving, scrutinizing, attuning to forces that eluded the awareness of those around you. As the other children reveled in carefree laughter, you sensed profound emotions that eluded your understanding. You could sense when authenticity was absent. A palpable tension lingered in the air, unnoticed by those around. Your heart felt deeply for what others overlooked. You received a profound message. You perceived the unspoken truths. Those were not mere eccentricities. Those were sacred keys, secrets to a truth they sought to keep hidden from you. In all honesty, they perceived it prior to your awareness, your illumination, your consciousness, your unique essence. That is the reason they sought to define you. That is the reason they ridiculed you. Separated from the collective, inspired you to reflect upon your own existence. For if you were to awaken to your true essence, the grip they hold over the story would falter. And now you stand before us, reflecting on the essence of existence, the visions, the inner knowing, the profound inquiries that stirred unease among the grown-ups. That was a profound journey. That was the essence of your being softly guiding you. Your essence transcends the ordinary realm. Those destined for greatness are not created. They have been unveiled, and your initial signs were not mere coincidences. They were echoes of urgency resonating beneath the facade of your ordinary existence. It is a moment to reflect with a fresh perspective. What you once overlooked was a resounding call of truth. The omens have always been present. At last, your ears have opened to the truth. And when a selected soul recalls, the universe begins to transform. Fourth in the sequence. Embrace the uniqueness that sets you apart. Being chosen for a higher purpose was the divine arrangement. They proclaimed that your quietude was a sign of frailty. Your distance signified that there was something amiss within you. But what if all that they derided was, in truth, the evidence? Evidence that you were always meant to stand out. You were crafted to shine so brightly that they could not approach you without trembling. Selected individual, listen closely to this message. Your uniqueness was never a flaw. They were mere illusions, misjudged by a realm too limited to embrace your insight. They sought to burden you with shame, urging you to diminish your true self, to cast you as the one apart. In truth, you were the very essence of creation. The initial version, a singular note amidst the cacophony of noise. You were destined to transcend their expectations. You were shaped by a unique cadence, a profound stillness, and they were unable to unravel your essence. Thus they deemed you peculiar, excessive, overwhelmingly powerful. Yet, let us speak of it in its true essence, apprehension. They trembled before the unknown, shrouded in mystery. And what they could not comprehend, they sought to obliterate. You were never alone. You were concealed, guarded. Being chosen for a higher purpose was not a form of retribution. It was a sacred preparation. You were not forsaken. You were shielded from their deceptions, their snares, their confines. You were refined in quietude while they became engulfed in the clamor. The suffering you experienced in your formative years, it was not a denial. It was a divine guidance. Embrace the uniqueness that sets you apart. Your uniqueness is the blueprint. It is the essence that distinguishes fate from postponement. The very aspect they sought to belittle you for will ultimately become the source of their admiration. The truth was concealed from your sight, yet it remained indelible. For what resides within your essence is beyond imitation. What flows within you is eternal and unchangeable. To be chosen is not a burden, but a sacred distinction. It was eternally the arrangement. Fifth in the order of significance, guard your spirit. Your compassion is a strength, not a flaw. Beloved seer, they recognized that your strength transcended mere thought. It resided within your soul. They recognized from the beginning that you perceived beyond the surface of individuals. You sensed their presence, and that rendered you formidable. Not due to any frailty, but because your profound understanding enabled you to see beyond facades, uncover falsehoods, and traverse emotional barriers as if they were mere illusions. They attempted to portray your gentleness as a weakness. I advised you to strengthen your resolve, to let go of excessive concern, and to embrace a more stoic demeanor. However, let us acknowledge the truth. They were not seeking to assist you. They sought to strip away your defenses. For in the depths of feeling, the entirety of existence unfolds before your eyes. And when you perceive all that exists, it becomes nearly unfeasible to be governed. You emerged into this world with an innate sensitivity to suffering. Your intuition has always guided you, sensing the unspoken truths that linger in the air. That is not a malediction, that is a divine offering. And it fills them with dread. When nurtured and directed, compassion transforms into a powerful tool of higher understanding. It reveals deceit, dismantles falsehoods, and breaks apart insincere bonds through the power of silence alone. Yet, behold the reality. Your compassion transforms into a vulnerability only when bestowed upon those unworthy of it. The deceivers, the manipulators, those who adorn their scars as lures to siphon your radiance. See, soul, your heart is a hallowed space now. Access is not granted to all. For it is in the instant you cease to pour your essence into those who would not offer you solace, that you restore your power. You cease to absorb their emotions, and instead reflect their true selves back to them. And believe me, when individuals are compelled to confront their own image in another, they can no longer manipulate. That is when the true pressure begins to mount. So cherish your compassion as a sacred treasure, held with the utmost reverence. It is not a flaw within you, it is your sacred shield. And it possesses a formidable power in the grasp of the enlightened. Sixth in the order. Do not dismiss those visions. They were omens, not merely nocturnal glimpses. Beloved seeker, they whispered to you that it was merely a figment of your imagination, did they not? Merely a figment of your mind's whimsy. Yet, within the depths of my being, an unsettling feeling lingered regarding that explanation, because your dreams resonated with a profound truth. They resonated as divine communications. Of utmost importance, transcendent, indelible. Your perceptions were not mere illusions. Visions were being revealed to you. When you are selected, the cosmos speaks with a resounding voice. It permeates your slumber. It inscribes sacred symbols within your consciousness. Glimmers of destinies. Instances yet to unfold, or omens shrouded in allegory. And while others rise and let go, you hold those visions like sacred whispers, etched into your very essence. They sought to persuade you that it held no significance. Yet behold the reality. They trembled at the thought of your revelations. For when you embark on the journey of unraveling the concealed messages within your dreams, you set forth on the path to discovering your true potential, and that fills them with dread. Your dreams were not mere happenstance of the mind's eye. They were sacred preparations, divine designs, ominous portents. Like heralds of impending tumult, you were being prepared in quietude, long before you grasped the unfolding of destiny. What comes next? Everything is aligning perfectly. Reflect upon the past. Those haunting visions, the recurring emblems, that peculiar sensation upon awakening. It was always a profound reality. It was wisdom from the unseen realm, messages imparted to your essence before your intellect could comprehend. They might have overlooked the omens, yet you sensed their presence. As you embark on this journey of awakening, you will begin to discern the multitude of night visions that served as protective barriers, guiding strategies, and profound signals. Always honor the wisdom that resides within your soul, for what they deem merely a vision could very well have been your salvation. Seventh in the order of significance, cease referring to it as mere chance. You have been safeguarded by a higher power for a greater confrontation. They shall refer to it as mere fortune, a fortunate deliverance, a fortuitous turn of events, a moment of serendipity. Yet within your soul a deeper truth resonates. That was a divine orchestration. That was a safeguard, exactitude, divine intention. How many times did turmoil attempt to engulf you entirely, yet you emerged unscathed? How frequently did circumstances unravel just in time to shield you from a more sinister fate ahead? Your evasion of those bullets was no mere coincidence. You were being protected, redirected, and adjusted for a conflict far greater than the one at hand. The selected endure not by mere chance. Your essence was safeguarded, for your narrative was destined to transcend the shadows of despair. They sought to shroud you in falsehoods, deceit, and cunning schemes. Yet, with each snare they devised, their true nature was revealed even more. The cosmos did not simply allow you to traverse the flames. It transformed that blaze into your shield. The adversaries who sought to bring you down remain perplexed by your unwavering resilience. Yet here lies the essence of reality. They were never contending with the complete essence of your being. They struck at you before you had fully embraced your true potential. And that is what fills them with dread in this moment. Because you were not merely shielded, you were being guided for a greater purpose, ready to unveil all that was shrouded in secrecy, ready to triumph in battles unforeseen. Cease to label it as mere chance. Embrace your existence. Embrace it with pride. You transcended beyond mere escape. You persevered. You were not merely rescued. You have been refined. Now the true struggle unfolds. And this time you tread with purpose and insight. You are traversing the path of enlightenment. They believed they could bring about your downfall. It appears they were merely guiding you towards an unbreakable existence. 8. Do not confuse quietude with neglect. Your heart has always been shielded. They sought to make you think that the stillness signified your erasure. The silence signified your absence from the journey ahead. Yet what they will never grasp is that silence is not merely an absence. It is a divine message, a sacred preparation, a reawakening of strength. Selected individual, the stillness you faced was not a forsaking. It was a sacred shield. As the clamor faded and even well-known visages became mere shadows, a thought crossed your mind. Perhaps you were on the brink of losing it all. Yet, in truth, you were being drawn away from the turmoil. For the turmoil was never intended to bind you. The stillness was never a form of retribution. It was a sacred barrier. In your solitude, they found amusement. They believed the stillness had shattered your spirit. Yet, what remained unseen was the way it honed your spirit. As they conspired openly, you transformed quietly in the unseen realms, flourishing in realms beyond their reach. What comes next? The stillness resonates within their souls because you transcended it. You transcended its grasp. There exist powerful entities in this realm that protect their most cherished treasures. And you, the Anointed One, are not mundane. So you were concealed from view, not forsaken, protected. Forever remembered, transcendent, not forgotten. What comes next? As you rise from that sacred sanctuary, more powerful than they could have ever imagined, they are unprepared to confront your presence, because you bear a truth that eludes their comprehension, a being forged in tranquility, not amidst the clamor, divine strength, carved in tranquility. Thus, let not the silence ever be questioned again. It was filled with purpose. It encompassed all that is profound. And now they sense it as well, not as solace, yet in the presence of trepidation. For they have come to understand at last, a presence was ever vigilant, guiding your path. And you, dear soul, you have always been accompanied. You were protected. You have been selected. What comes next? You are ascending beyond reach, 9th in the sequence. Cease the pursuit of acceptance. You are crafted to exist in solitude. Selected individual. The world has led you to think that your value is determined by your ability to conform, that if you simply embrace the light of joy more often, reduce your size slightly, embrace caution, acceptance shall be yours. Yet that is the snare. And they established it at dawn. They recognized your essence long before you became aware of it. They perceived the clarity within your gaze, the stillness that filled them with unease, the profound essence that eludes replication. Thus, they acted as those lacking courage often do. They sought to instill uncertainty within you. They conveyed to you that your solitude was a shortcoming, when in truth it was a testament. Evidence that your path was destined to diverge from the familiar trails of the masses. You were destined to stand apart. You were created to awaken the spirit, to confront, to bear a truth that pierces the surface of the unseeing. And that is precisely why they could not allow you to come to that understanding. Thus they set you apart initially, not to shatter your spirit, yet to bewilder you, to guide you in seeking community, validation, and connection in realms where your essence was never intended to shine. Yet there is a truth that has remained unspoken. The mightiest entities often tread the path of solitude at the outset. Majestic creatures do not pursue the company of others. Tempests do not seek consent before unleashing their fury. And the selected ones, they were destined to rise where others remain muted. Your true power lies not in the multitude of companions by your side. It is in the unwavering courage you embody when the world remains silent. In the silence of solitude, when the phone remains still, when you continue to ascend, cease the pursuit of spaces that dull your brilliance, simply to bring ease to those around. You were destined to stand apart from them. You were destined to walk your own path and radiate with such brilliance that those who sought to confine you in darkness are compelled to observe your light from the very shadows they created. Rise with unwavering strength. Isolated is not devoid of meaning. It is hallowed. 10. Cease to diminish your wonder. It is the gateway to your true strength. Beloved seeker, let us establish a singular truth. Your inquisitiveness was always a virtue. It was an instrument of power, a sacred inscription, an eternal flame that resisted all attempts to be quenched, no matter the effort to suppress it. They perceived it at dawn, how your inquiries pierced the veil of deception, how your thoughts ventured into realms untouched by others. And that is precisely why they sought to diminish your essence. Yet, curiosity transcends mere intellectual stimulation. For the blessed, it serves as a guiding star. It is the initial glimmer of your enlightenment. When they urged you to cease your inquiries, what was the reason behind it? They were not safeguarding your essence. They were shielding themselves from the force they understood you would unleash. For when an appointed seeker begins to inquire, the whole facade begins to unravel. They urged you to quiet the restless mind, to embrace the familiar and the established. But those destined for greatness do not accept mediocrity. Your inquisitiveness is what elevates you above the ordinary. It unveils hidden depths, uncovers the facades, revealing the profound truths that many are unprepared to confront. It transcends mere curiosity. It is enlightenment, and they trembled at that prospect. What is the reason behind this? For it is through the pursuit of wonder that enlightenment is attained, and with enlightenment, the chains of dominion are shattered. You are crafted to perceive the hidden flaws within the framework, to challenge the established order, to unveil the hidden influences. Their attempts to stifle your inquiries only serve to illuminate the truths they wish to conceal. The narrative of your essence, your strength. Embrace your true potential. Cease the need for remorse when delving into profound thoughts. Your inquisitiveness is your legacy, your sacred protection, your advantage. Embrace it fully. Pursue it with unwavering devotion. For what you discover will not merely transform you, it will dismantle all that they have constructed to keep your vision obscured. And when the truth finally aligns, they will not merely fear your intellect, they shall tremble at the power you wield with it. Number 11. Do not keep the knowledge to yourself. Your knowledge has the power to preserve life. Selected being, the wisdom you possess transcends mere existence. It was destined to serve as a tool of power, a beacon, and a source of hope for those still struggling in the shadows you have transcended. They sought to stifle your voice, aware that your truth held the power to dismantle falsehoods. Your words possess the power to unveil the deceptions upon which their foundations are constructed. Yet, there lies a hidden truth. Quietude can pose a threat as perilous as unawareness. When the anointed remain silent, the sightless guide the sightless. Your understanding was not bestowed upon you to be concealed like a precious gem hidden beneath the weight of apprehension. The profound insight you possess, it is the breath that fuels another's flame. A soul somewhere is struggling to breathe amidst the haze of uncertainty. Endless patterns you have already transcended. Your tale unfolds, your insight. Your suffering transformed into a meaningful mission may be the light that guides them forward. Yet the true motive behind their attempts to sow seeds of uncertainty in your thoughts lies deeper. They understood that if you ever uttered a word, you would rouse the souls around you. You would flow through the lives of others with an undeniable force, compelling them to confront the truths they were meant to accept without doubt. And what of that? That is truly transformative. Wisdom is not intended to gather dust within the confines of your thoughts. It is destined to flow freely, to uplift, to elevate. And when an appointed one holds it within, concealed. That is precisely what the adversary sought from the very beginning. Do not hesitate to proclaim the trials you have overcome. Do not overlook the profound impact that a solitary phrase, born from true understanding, can wield. At times, a single enlightened spirit can spark the awakening of countless others. There is no requirement for a platform. You are the vessel of communication. Thus, let your words be heard. Disseminate, radiate. Allow your wisdom to serve as the remedy for the uncertainty they have sown in the hearts of others. For when an appointed being speaks the truth, the falsehoods begin to fade away, step by step. Number 12, no more concealment. You are chosen for a higher purpose. You are irreplaceable in their eyes. No more concealment. It is time to rise to your true potential. Cease the facade of ignorance regarding the truth that lies before you. They sought to extinguish your voice. They sought to obliterate your essence. For within their essence, they have always held the truths that you are now starting to uncover. You stand apart from the rest. You are chosen for a higher purpose. You are the sacred design, the initial version, the chosen one of profound significance. received and acknowledged, ridiculed. Yet it could never be substituted. They sought to render you unseen. Your presence unveils the falsehoods of those who disguise themselves. Your true self reveals their facades. That is the reason they advised you to temper your expression. That is the reason they behaved as if you were overwhelming. For if you were to fully embrace your authentic strength, the facade would shatter, and they were aware of it. Yet behold the unexpected turn that eluded their foresight. Each moment they cast you aside, you honed your strength in quietude. Every effort to overshadow your brilliance only sharpened your clarity, with greater clarity of purpose. More transcendent, you have pondered long enough whether your uniqueness is a sign of madness. You are not. You have been selected, not by chance, not by divine chance. Yet you possess a gift that transcends the limitations of this earthly realm. Your essence remains in spaces, resonating long after your presence has departed. Your absence resonates with a depth that their presence could never reach. The moment for retreat has passed. The individuals who sought to suppress you now find themselves tormented by the very seeds they unwittingly sowed. So stride with the certainty of your true essence. Speak as if your words weave the fabric of destiny, and glide as if you are not merely a participant in the tale, but the essential passage that cannot be overlooked. They may replicate your movements, imitate your essence, and appropriate your expressions. What you possess is unique, irreplaceable, and beyond the reach of mere imitation or purchase. Now is the moment for you to embrace the spotlight and hold it forever. As we conclude this sacred communication, grasp this truth. The profound reality they sought to conceal is already awakening within you. Your transformation is not merely a realization, it is an emergence that cannot be ignored. Regardless of their efforts to diminish your essence, you have reclaimed your strength, and nothing can hinder the momentum that has already begun. If this message stirred something deep within you, it is because it was destined for your heart. Embrace this video to recognize your strength. Join us to remain attuned to this profound revelation. Leave a 99 in the comments if you understand that your uniqueness is irreplaceable.